All right, food lovers, let's turn your kitchen into an Italian trattoria in just a few steps. First, let's tackle that roasted tomato sauce. Start by preheating your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Grab about 2 pounds of ripe tomatoes, Roma's perfect. Slice them in half and toss them onto a baking sheet. Drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle on salt, pepper, and a generous pinch of sugar to cut the acidity. Don't forget a whole bulb of garlic sliced in half and a few sprigs of fresh thyme. Pop that tray in the oven for about 30 minutes until everything is caramelized and your kitchen smells like a dream. While that's roasting, get your pasta water boiling and salt it like the sea. I'm using spaghetti, but you do you. Penne or fettuccine work just as well. Cook until perfectly al dente. Back to the sauce. Once your tomatoes are done, squeeze out that roasted garlic, then toss everything into a blender. Add a splash of olive oil, a handful of fresh basil, and blend until smooth. Taste and season. Drain your pasta, saving a little of that liquid gold, pasta water. Toss the noodles with your sauce, adding some pasta water if it needs to loosen up. Finish with fresh basil and a shower of grated parmesan. Now, for a fresh herb side, grab a big bowl, toss in mixed greens, chopped parsley, mint, and a little dill. Whisk olive oil with lemon juice, salt, and pepper. Dress lightly. For crunch, add toasted pine nuts and a few shavings of parmesan. And there you have it. Pasta with a smoky, rich roasted tomato sauce and a zesty herb salad on the side. Simple, fresh, and totally delicious. Try it out and let me know. What's your favorite herb combo? See you next time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're shifting gears a bit. We're exploring the Mediterranean way of eating. And it's really not just another diet, is it? It feels more like a lifestyle. Super flavorful, vibrant.
Absolutely. It draws on these incredible traditions from, places like Greece, Italy, parts of the Middle East too.
Yeah, and our sources today, they really paint a picture of something that's good for you, obviously, but also genuinely enjoyable, about the food itself.
That's a key point. When you dig into it, the foundation is it's fresh, whole foods. It's quite simple in a way.
Simple how?
Well, think loads of colorful vegetables, right? Rich olive oil, fragrant herbs. I mean, that's the heart of so many dishes. It's like building your meals around what nature provides.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more. So if someone's trying to picture like a Mediterranean kitchen or pantry, what are the absolute essentials, the must-haves?
Right. Well, you definitely see a constant stream of fresh fruits and vegetables, seasonal ones, ideally.
Like leafy greens, tomatoes, figs, maybe.
Exactly. All of that good stuff. And then olive oil. It's completely central.
Not just for cooking, you mean?
No. As a dressing, a finisher, it adds so much flavor. Then you'd have your whole grains, think faro, couscous, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And legumes, lentils, chickpeas, really important sources of protein and fiber.
And protein-wise, our sources seem to lean towards fish and poultry. Less red meat?
That's generally the pattern, yes. Fish features quite prominently, poultry too. Red meat is more occasional.
It's interesting, isn't it, how the focus seems to be so much on what you should eat, rather than a long list of don'ts.
Precisely. It's less about restriction and much more about embracing these core groups of whole, unprocessed foods.
Letting the natural flavors shine through.
You got it. It's all about the quality of the ingredients.
Okay, so let's pivot to the why. I know people listening want to understand the benefits. What does the research we looked at actually say makes this way of eating so well healthy?
Well, the evidence is pretty compelling, especially around cardiovascular health. That's probably the most studied aspect.
Right.
Our sources consistently point to, a significant drop in the risk of heart disease and stroke.
And why is that, do they think?
A lot of it seems to trace back to the beneficial fats, particularly from olive oil. They help manage cholesterol levels, which is obviously crucial for heart health.
Okay. And what about brain health? That's something people are increasingly focused on. Does this diet offer anything there?
It looks promising. Some of the research we explored suggests a positive link to cognitive function.
Keeping the mind sharp.
Yeah, potentially even lowering the risk for conditions like Alzheimer's disease. It might be down to the antioxidants.
From all the fruits and vegetables.
Exactly. Protecting brain cells from damage, that kind of thing.
Right. And okay, let's talk weight management. Sometimes healthy eating feels like deprivation, but this sounds different.
It often is different, yeah. Because it's so rich in fiber from all the plants, and the healthy fats are very satisfying.
So it keeps you full.
It really does. You tend to feel fuller for longer, which can make managing weight feel more natural, more sustainable, without that constant feeling of, missing out.
You mentioned anti-inflammatory properties earlier. What's the deal with that? Why is that important?
Yeah, this is actually fascinating. Certain compounds, like oleocanthal in extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Well, it seems to have an effect a bit like ibuprofen, believe it or not. It contributes to these anti-inflammatory effects systemically.
Wow. So that could help with
Good.
health, joints?
Potentially both, yes. Reducing inflammation can benefit lots of different systems in the body.
Okay, so we've established it's healthy. But honestly, a big part of the appeal is that Mediterranean food is just delicious. Why is that? What's the flavor secret?
Well, like we touched on, a lot of it is that simplicity, letting really good ingredients speak for themselves. Think about fresh herbs, oregano, basil, mint. They completely lift a dish. And then you've got garlic, lemon, that brightness, that zest. Plus, sun-ripened tomatoes, that natural sweetness. It's all about layers of fresh flavor.
And the olive oil again. It's more than just a cooking fat here, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A really good extra virgin olive oil is a flavor component in its own right. It can be peppery, fruity, grassy.
Right.
It often brings everything together. That final drizzle makes such a difference.
I'm picturing like a super simple Greek salad, right tomatoes, cucumber, maybe some feta, olives, and a really generous amount of good olive oil and oregano.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Basic ingredients, incredible flavor. It proves you don't need fussy techniques.
Yeah, it's satisfying just thinking about it.
And that's a key takeaway, really. Accessibility. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Now, our sources suggest this goes beyond just what's on the plate. There's a lifestyle connection too, isn't there?
Definitely. That's crucial to understanding the whole picture. It's not just a diet in the modern sense.
So what does that lifestyle involve?
Well, for one thing, there's often an emphasis on slowing down. Mindful eating, you could call it.
Taking time to actually enjoy the meal.
Yes. Savoring the food, enjoying the company. It aids digestion, sure, but it also just makes eating more pleasurable.
And the social side seems huge. Sharing meals.
It's fundamental in many Mediterranean cultures. Eating together with family, with friends, it's not an afterthought. It's woven into the fabric of daily life.
That social connection must have its own benefits for well-being.
Absolutely. It's a major contributor to overall happiness and even longevity, some research suggests.
This is not all about sitting around the table, though.
Yeah.
Physical activity plays a role.
Yes, definitely. Our sources consistently mention regular, moderate activity, often things like walking.
So incorporating movement naturally into the day.
Exactly. Not necessarily intense gym sessions, but staying active. Spending time outdoors is often part of it, too. It's holistic. It nourishes the body and the mind together.
So bringing it all together.
Yeah.
If someone's listening and thinking about trying this, it's really a whole philosophy, not just a food list.
That's a great way to put it.
What are the main things they should sort of hold on to from our chat today?
I'd say the key takeaways are it's delicious, it's balanced, it's sustainable, and it's rooted in tradition. It offers really solid benefits for your heart, your brain, your overall health, and it's tied to a lifestyle that values enjoyment, community, and staying active.
Okay, practical steps. If someone's thinking, right, I want to dip my toe in, what's an easy way to start? Not a massive overhaul, but, a beginning.
Start small, definitely. Don't try to change everything overnight. Maybe focus on one meal.
Like breakfast?
Yeah, maybe try a Mediterranean-style breakfast, some Greek yogurt with fruit and nuts, or even just oatmeal cooked with water or milk, adding berries, or switch your cooking fat.
Use olive oil instead of butter or other oils.
Exactly, little swaps like that. Gradually add more vegetables to your meals, try a new fish recipe once a week, incorporate more beans and lentils. It's about gradual shifts.
Makes it feel much less daunting.
It should. It's meant to be enjoyed, not endured.
So maybe a final thought for people to chew on, so to speak.
Yeah, perhaps it's about reconsidering our relationship with food, moving beyond just seeing it as fuel, and thinking more about how it can be a source of real joy, a way to connect with others, and fundamentally a pillar of long-term health and well-being. How can you make food about more than just sustenance?
That's a great question to end on. Lots to think about there.